Pool is a lovely game that many people enjoy. I, however, do not enjoy it if I'm playing with my brother. A little bit. Anyway, you read the title. Today we're going to be trying to beat Fallout 3, where the only weapon available to me is Pool Cue. Let's get started together. The journey starts out with my birth, obviously. I'm the main character, so my birth is the most important thing in the entire universe. Character creation was pretty simple. I just hit randomize, hit done because I didn't want to put in effort. I named myself Q. Cool Q for those of you who care. I really don't. That's why I'm okay. Then Dad decides to leave me in a playpen. I'm not the big fan of this because I want to get out there and start beating things with Cool Q. So I have to escape. By that, I jump on top of the ball and then on top of the fence, walking ever so carefully around the fence until I get right to it. Then I open the fence and then get on through. All right. A lot of people are going to complain about me shooting the rad roach with the BB. However, I'm not given a way to get a pool cue yet, and you need to do this to proceed. So I'm not going to count it against us. So we're just going to ignore it, move on. My skills for this run are melee weapons, medicine, and barter, all of which are pretty obvious why. Yeah, we can skip all this. The escape actually goes pretty well. You can do this entire thing without killing a single person. And in fact, I did. The only ones who died were by the rad roaches or security, such as Ellen Delora, but Butch's grandmother, I think. I don't know if Butch died. I didn't stay long enough to find out. The vault had some interesting quirks. See, the security guards chased me to the vault entrance, but as soon as I stepped outside, they didn't chase me anymore. In fact, they almost immediately shut me out, so kind of hurt by that, but once we're outside, the game can truly begin, and we need to start out by finding a place called Miga Tune, I think. See, yeah, Miga Tune. That's from the sign. And pointed in that direction, so I guess I have to walk about 1,000 miles that way. Oh, let's do it. Just kidding. On the inside, we talk to Sheriff Slim, who tells me all the different places that I can go to in order to meet merchants, whatever, do some questing, and figure out information about my father. Unfortunately, whenever I checked the vendor's stock, they didn't have any pool cues, which meant I couldn't start attacking anything. This severely limited my ability to do quests or anything, but I was able to buy a ton of stim packs, which, that worked for me pretty well in the end because I needed those anyway. The first quest I did was just stand by a nuke to get radiated for a while. Honestly, it was pretty boring and took a few minutes, but I'm not going to show you all that. After that, I visited Grandma Sparkle just because, well, I'm going to deal with her anyway, but I wanted to see if maybe she could be of any use to this challenge. I couldn't kill her all right, or at least right now, but I will kill her pretty soon. That's foreshadowing. After that, I ended up at this random abandoned house in an area filled with fire ants because the wiki said that's where to find the pool cue. And I did. It was my first weapon, and, well, I'll tell you what, it doesn't work so well on the fire ants for future experience, but we're going to test it out against a little bit something more my level. That being the Karens at the Super Duper Mart won't let me buy groceries. All I want is some tequila. A lot of you know tequila is pretty great. For Colin Moriarty basically made a deal with me. If I go and I get some money for him from someone, then he'll give me the information I need. Now, I could have just hacked his computer, but my hacking skill is shit. And plus, I wanted more excuses. So I went to Silver's house, found her, and she was like, "Look, man, I don't need to give you the caps, so you can fuck off." And I'm like, "Okay, language. First of all, there are children here, and I'll just beat you to death." See, she brought a gun to a pool cue fight. This is the first of many people who would make that same mistake, because all she's doing is putting holes into my body. It's not even that effective. Like, seriously, who taught you how to fight? I did get into a skirmish with super mutants after that. First one went down decent because he just had a rifle. The second one had a missile launcher. A missile launcher is substantially worse considering that a rifle will just put more holes into my body, while a missile launcher will blow off my limbs. But eventually I did kill him, and I didn't put the footage in here, but this led me to discover Big Town for the first time, and I'm gonna do some questing with them. Sorry, it's so boring. Whenever the questing began, I had to get Red and Shorty out of a station infested with super mutants. Man, Big Town really hates super mutants, do they? Things were great in Big Town. I took a nap for an hour, and whenever I came to, super mutants had arrived. Luckily, I had people shooting them to help me out, but I also got to do a big bit of fun myself in just hitting these guys. I'm surprised the pool cue is working as well as it does, but then again, I'm not on the hard difficulty. A raider challenged me to a duel, and he had a pool cue himself. This was great. See, he could stun me, but he had another weapon. See, in Fallout 4, there's no durability, which I was used to. Here, I can effectively double my arsenal by killing him, like I did, and taking his bulk cube. It's genius. How did I not think of it before? Back to the main story, I met up with Sentinel Lions and her group. This was easy because I just sat back and let them do everything. It can basically clear the entire area without you, which made it easy. I could just loot whatever and then go back to merchants selling for whatever. The behemoth was a problem, however. Behemoth caused a lot of trouble. He's big, he's ugly, and he's wearing a shopping cart or two on his back. I don't know. I tried to fight him, but it wasn't exactly a good idea. I died on a couple of occasions here, and the game tries to get you to use a fat man and use mini nukes against him. I, however, did not do that since a man is not a pool cue. So I hid in the school and let the supposed Brotherhood of Steel soldiers deal with them. They really weren't that skilled at it. They went unconscious numerous times. Although I did sneak in trying to get the final hit, and like I said, a couple of times. Finally, I was able to get that final hit in and kill the super mutant all by myself with absolutely no help from anyone whatsoever. Three Dog told me that, hey, yeah, I know where your pop is, but I need you to do something for me in order to do it. Something like that. I could barely understand him. All I knew is, okay, I get something for him, he helps me out. Cool. Plus, he's also the radio guy, and I like radio. His mission involved me going into a museum and fighting, you guessed it, more super mutants. Seriously, it's like these things are everywhere. But they're not too bad. I mean, they're giant targets, so it's not like they're going to be able to evade me, and the pool cue is still doing decent damage and consistent damage to them. I found the Galaxy News radio thing, activated the relay so everyone could hear the radio for miles and miles beyond. Then I went to Grandma Sparkle. I told you all that I was going to come back and deal with her. I wanted to see if she had anything that could save her life, mainly anything worth it. She did not, and I knew it was time. See, the problem is, meat is worthless to me. But I decided that in honor of Mitten Squad and in honor of everyone's sanity, I would beat her to death. She went down in 4 hits. That is somehow less hits than I expected. I also found this one guy who I could have had as my apprentice, fighting a centaur. While he wasn't using a pool cue, he was using an object made of wood. I believe he was using a baseball bat. Together we killed the centaur, and I was proud of him. I wouldn't take him with me, but it was fun to consider what could have been with Jer. I finally arrived at Rivet City after hours, mainly because I spent a long time just swimming all the way around the map because I didn't want to go through the infested sewer systems. But I would immediately get distracted by going to an area outside that deals with slavers wanting, or freed slaves wanting to take over Lincoln Memorial, and discovered that this one guy's bedroom is literally a bathroom. God damn, the script is such a mess. Why am I here instead of continuing with the main quest line? I did continue that one slaving quest, however, by killing all the slavers that were at Lincoln Memorial, which, again, was easy considering they keep bringing guns to a pool cue fight. Took me a minute, but I managed to take them down. I showed up to Jefferson Memorial early, and I was curious to see if any of the buttons would work. They didn't, but I also got startled by the Jefferson statue in the middle of it. I don't know how, considering I've actually been to the real thing in real life, but no one cares about that here. And then I finally arrived at Smith Casey's garage to meet Dad. Meet him? I meant find him. All I heard is that he came out here. I don't know why he's here. And I really haven't been paying attention to the story, so he probably said it, but I think he's here for the gecko. The O is silent, from what I've heard. But anyway, if he's here, we're gonna find him. This confused me. This isn't Fallout. How the fuck did I get here? Oh, makes sense. So the only thing that's notable that happens in the simulation is trying to guess the code that may or may not have taken me over 20 to 30 minutes to complete because I'm an idiot. But that's really the only thing here. After that, I talked to Dad and he's like, yeah, I'm getting the gecko. Go is still silent, son. But he was telling me it's for a purifier or something, which, I mean, hey, we could just go to Walmart. I guess they don't exist anymore. And he said he would be at River City. And I told him I would meet him there. Him and Madison Lee started arguing like a bunch of parents, and me being their child, illegitimate child, I walked up and I stole something off of Madison's desk because I can't get in trouble because I'm their golden sunshine boy. Yeah, that was weird. I then had to go back to Jefferson Memorial and clear out the remaining super mutants from the basement and other areas that I missed. I'm really bad at this, which is why I have to do it twice, but you know what? More experience and more things to beat with my pool cues. Everything was going pretty well down here. It was actually kind of fun. And then I got told to fix some pipes. And then as soon as I did, I discovered a weird thing. I was locked in. I couldn't leave out the pipes I was supposed to, so I didn't know what to do. Until I looked up and saw a vertibird. Oh, Bet, we finally have friends. I wonder if they brought me any gifts, considering that everyone here seems to know who I am, or at least know who my father is. And you'll never guess what? They did bring me gifts. They weren't friendly, but they did bring me the gift of someone in giant metal armor for me to beat up. Honestly, it took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but seriously, this guy can still go down to a wooden stick. I just find that freaking hilarious. Phone buzz off right now. I'm in the middle of something. Honestly, this is about the hardest enemy to kill in the entire game at this point, and everything was going great until, for some reason, this colonel guy was in there. There was a dead body. I don't know what happened. I'm assuming it had something to do with whenever the dead body was shot, whenever it was living. But who knows? The mysteries of life continue to elude us. I wasn't paying attention. Dad went ahead and pushed some buttons and ended up killing a couple of people. Me and my safety helmet noticed it. First, the guy in power armor and Colonel Autumn died at the same time. I'm not really good at timing this. They died nearly instantly. Meanwhile, my dad, in just a regular vault suit, was able to come up to the door, say something to me, and then unfortunately, he passed away. Then came the escort mission. Basically, Dr. Madison Lee and a couple others you have to escort through a sewer in order to bring them to the Brotherhood of Steel. I didn't know that's where we were going at the time, but I was like, okay, I guess I'm escorting these people now. Thankfully, it's not too difficult. The hardest part about this is that at one point some Enclave soldiers started shooting at us, and this one guy ran in. I don't know what his name is, so I'm going to call him Jeremy. Jeremy came at it with everything he had. I did break one pool cue. Luckily, I had another. Jeremy tried his best fighting the Enclave soldiers, and they may have been in power armor, but we had hope. We had freedom. We had, I don't know what we had. I don't know why Jeremy came in here. He was pretty stupid. But luckily, the game doesn't punish me for his own mistakes. And, yeah, he died in that fire. At least I think he did. I'm like 90% sure he did. I don't know. His dead body may have just been him faking it, and he's a traitor all this time. But we finally arrived at the Citadel. Here's the thing, this was one of my first playthroughs on Fallout 3. I've done a playthrough before, but I still very rarely actually pay attention, and I was curious how to get in, but then I realized I have to just be patient, which is not my strong suit. On the inside, Scribe and the Brotherhood told me that the plan was to get the gecko from another vault. Leo was still silent. And he told me that Vault 87 is the place to go. It's going to be incredibly difficult to get into, and despite them having a literal army, I am the only one that they can send in here, which is stupid. On the way there, I decided that my arsenal needed to be improved. So I went to this one guy's place that I stumbled on earlier. I don't remember his name because again, I'm not paying attention. And oh yeah, that's Star Paladin Cross. She randomly met me inside the place, was shooting whenever I first got there. So while she was doing that, I walked in and went to the pool queue. For now, the Paladin will come with us because she can be a pack mule. She won't be here for long. Then I decided that Rivet City had two pool cues that would much serve a better purpose inside the savior of the world's hands. That's me, for those of you who don't know. And I had multiple plans for this. My plan at first was to wait at night when no one was here, take the pool cue, and then just wait until morning. That didn't work because the guards were still here and they didn't like me being here at night. So I had a much better plan. And it was actually kind of stupid that I didn't think about it in the first place. Come back during the day, and then go into my inventory and take off the hulking power armor that I'm wearing and put on something a little bit easier to hide in, and then just get lucky. And I did. I got lucky for a little bit after I maneuvered weirdly around the pool table, and I managed to grab both of the pool cues, effectively doubling my arsenal in one go. This was great. I had 4 pool cues. Nothing was going to stop me from getting this gecko from Vault 87. On the way out there, I noticed that Paladin got into a fight with a Yao Guai. First, I was tempted to let him prove his worth by just having the Paladin kill the Yao Guai. Then I realized if I lose to the Paladin, I lose a pack mule. So I went in there and I started swinging. Listen, the Paladin may be using a pool cue, which is not legal, but we like him for the moment. The mayor decided that in order to let me pass, I needed to do some tasks for him. Since I didn't get the Child at Heart perk, I couldn't just skip through it, which meant that I had to do some work. And he wanted something at like Paradise Falls or something. I really haven't been out there before, so I don't know what to expect. And here's what happened. Quest was basically just go in and kill everyone. Now, did I do that? Well, you're watching me do it right now, so obviously, yes. Yes, I did it. I don't really know why I asked that question. And they gave me something about Grouse died, which I don't know if that was important or not, but either way, it's already done. Hey, I get to get more stuff. Also, I found a named pool cue known as the Break. I don't know if it was significantly better or not. I think whenever I checked the stats later, it wasn't. Let me check the notes. Oh yeah, I don't have notes. And Paladin Cross died, which was especially hard on me considering that now my pack mule was dead and I had to carry everything myself. A moment in silence for pack mule. Okay, moment over. Back to the killing. I never really stopped killing. Now, on the inside cave systems that lead to Vault 87, I had a plan. I was going to methodically sneak past everyone until almost immediately I was detected and yeah, they saw me. So then I put on my Nike strat, or the Dante Ravioli strat, and ran right past them. It was a great strategy, actually. Flawless, even. I didn't even need Nikes to do it. I did get lost a couple of times, however, which made the run especially long. And the plan didn't work fully because a couple of Super Mutant Masters were able to follow me to the vault entrance, so I did have to beat them to death, but it wasn't all of them. And the main reason I did this is I didn't know how many of them were inside Vault 87, and I knew I wouldn't be able to leave once I got inside, and I didn't want to have to avoid everything like a plague. There were a few more masters on the inside, but nothing too difficult. Just standing there, holding basically the right trigger to hit them all, and they all went down eventually. They didn't go quietly. They never do go quietly. They always try and make it annoying. Then I got lost. Like a lot. Seriously, I don't remember this vault at all, and I have never actually been able to make it through here without getting lost. I spent like 5 to 10 minutes in the atrium alone, just trying to figure out which door was the right door to go through to get the gecko. Fox changed everything. Fox is lovely. I'm going to call him Falcon. Falcon decided to do a lot for me. He offered to kill everything else in my path. It was great. You want to know what he started out with first? This centaur that wanted to give me a weird kiss with its tentacles. And I said no. I ran away, and Falcon defended me. He also said he would help me get Echo. And the next 5 to 10 minutes were just me following him because I could save on my weapon's durability, and he could kill everything pretty easily. I raided and looted quite a bit along the way, but he didn't seem to mind. He does walk a little slow. Falcon, sorry. Falcon is pretty great. He grabbed the gecko for me, and it only took him a little bit of a while. On my way out, however, I managed to get hit with a grenade. Why did I get hit with a grenade? Well, because the Enclave. They somehow managed to get in the other entrance, beat me here, miss Fox, and capture me. I wasn't happy. But I didn't record it, and this made me even more sad. Colonel Autumn tries to talk you into giving up the code. When you don't, he leaves, and then the president tells you, hey, I'm going to let everyone know not to kill you, so don't pick a fight, get your stuff, and come and visit me. I'm like, okay. That doesn't last long. You make it about halfway, and then Colonel Autumn goes against the order and tries to get you killed, which hurt. I don't know what they shot me with. But President Eden, surprise, surprise, is just an Amazon Kindle from 2010, but on steroids. You talk to him and he gives you a FEV virus that you can use to kill everyone. I took it, but I didn't exactly do anything with it. On the way out, there was a light at the end of the tunnel, being the sky, and then also that Falcon was out here killing the Enclave soldiers. I'd never been more proud in my entire life. Falcon would be able to come with me, not as my pack mule, but as my friend. Back at the Brotherhood base, Sentinel Lions was like, here's the plan. You're going to go with us, the Lion Guard, our main task of named characters. We're going to get you inside. We're going to deal with everything. Cool. And I'm like, great. Do we have a plan? Because they're kind of putting their whole army there, and I don't know if we're going to be able to handle it. Their solution was Liberty Prime, a big old hunkin' robot that is making Optimus Prime look like a diplomat, which Technically, he is. Either way, I decided it would be worthy enough, but also there was this gun that was just floating in the air. Kind of creeped me out, but okay. One thing that disappointed me is Liberty Prime is unable to join you on the inside. I was really hoping for that backup, but unfortunately, he and most of the Lion Squad, or whatever their squad name is called, would not be joining us on the inside. But luckily, I still would have Fox with me. Keep saying Fox, I mean Falcon. On the inside of it, the Enclave soldiers weren't too bad to deal with. They were still wearing power armor, but they still had a distinct weakness for wooden sticks. Every now and then, I just would have to pop behind cover for a second, go in there, start hitting, occasionally open my inventory, and pop a couple of stimpaks. But at this point, I had well over 150. And eventually, I just gave up and ran right to Colonel Autumn. Speaking of Autumn, this is the actual view of what I got whenever I was fighting him. The options were sneaking, so I just decided to get the fight started. But unfortunately, the game disappointed me. I barely had time to get to Colonel Autumn and get a few hits on him before he died. He had very little health, which explains why he's kind of a loser. He could have worn power armor like his guards, but no, he just had to look good. Dude, there's a certain level where the drip doesn't matter. And in the very end, I decided I would be the hero and that I would actually sacrifice myself in the name of this wasteland. I may not have liked the people here, but you know what? This gets me away from everyone so much faster. I entered in the code and died a hero. And ladies and gentlemen, we beat Fallout 3 with only a pool cue. I know it's taking forever for me to enter the code, but here we go. If you guys like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you else want to see in future videos, and just have a great day.